serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is The Man Who Ate the Town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 77 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of July 3rd through the 10th, 2018. My name is Tim Beeman, and I am flying solo today, and I am opening the recipe box. I am recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town at the Lab at Industry Hill. It is a repurposed building on North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of downtown Winston-Salem, what we now call Industry Hill. Find out more about Industry Hill by visiting industryhill.com. Kelly is off today because we're coming up on the 4th of July holiday, and that's all we need to know, right? Hopefully we'll be back on track next week. Also, we're talking about changing the days of the week that we record, essentially going back to Mondays as I did when I first started doing the podcast. I like to have Monday to Sunday instead of Tuesday to Monday. I think it makes more sense that way. Being this is the July 4th week, Stephanie and I were talking about what we're going to do for food, as we probably won't go anywhere. A lot of places are closed for the week anyway. I know Delicio's is. I think what we're going to do instead of hot dogs and burgers, we're going to do grilled cheese. I know Trey and I are doing burgers on Thursday, so that means I won't be having them 2 days in a row. Not that I would mind that, but it's probably not the best idea. Last year, my family and I had a taco bar for July 4th because nothing says Happy Birthday America like Mexico's staple food. What is your go-to Independence Day food? It's quite okay if it's standard, it's tradition, and there's a reason why. In fact, that will be our poll for this week. What is your favorite Independence Day food? Speaking of polls, the last one we did was the Oreos flavor, and the kettle corn flavor won by like a vote of 7 to whatever. I don't even remember what it was, but I have a package of the kettle corn flavored Oreos right here, and when Kelly gets back, we'll try them. Anchor Coffee Company is putting a Winston-Salem location. They're from North Wilkesboro on Trade Street, down next to the Oddfellows headquarters. Another coffee company is going on trade at 7th, where Ember Audio used to be. It will be operated by Moji Coffee and More, and is designed to give people with intellectual and developmental disabilities job opportunities. I think that's pretty cool, right? The company is partnering with Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools to lease 690 Trade Street from the district. If you're counting, that will be 8 coffee shops on or along Trade Street. This includes the new Anchor Atelier has a coffee shop, Rena Marie's Coffees and Teas, Sweet Aromas on 6th Street, 14 Degrees Coffee Roasters with Brasstown Chocolate, Moji, Black Mountain Chocolate, and Mary's. And this isn't even counting Camino, Washington Perk, that is just up the street on 4th Street, Liberty Arts Cafe on Liberty, and don't forget Twin City Hive, Coffee Park Arts, Coffee Park in the Library, or Coffee Park Airstream, and Camino Brookstown. This could be viewed by some as too much, but just like with beer, each shop will be using a different blend, using a different roaster, using different beans, so each will offer something different. People will do coffee tours, and it will be a destination. Yay for Winston. At least that's what I'm assuming is going to happen. I hope it's not overkill. Coffee is the most consumed beverage in the world, so I have a feeling that, and I know that there are people here who love their coffee, so it will be okay. Guru Convenience, which is the convenience store on Trade Street right next to where Anchor Coffee is going to be, is what is taking the hookup location. They're moving just around the corner. I don't know how I feel about that. It could be a good thing. I don't know if they're going to leave any of the marble and stuff that's on the outside. From what I hear, when Hookup was in there, because I've never been in there, they pretty much stripped it of all the cool stuff anyway, so it may be a moot point at this point. The Tropical Smoothie location is not going to be leased at the moment. The owners of the building are trying to turn those into condos, and I feel that they feel they can get something bigger in there when and if that happens. If that idea falls through, then they will probably just lease the spot because it's prime location. And update, the Subway spot on 4th Street under the new Garner Foods has not been leased yet. Food holidays for this week. The 3rd is National Fried Clam Day, National Chocolate the National Chocolate Wafer Day, and National Eat Beans Day, which Stephanie would completely stay away because she doesn't eat beans unless they're black or green. She has started going with a little bit of the cannelloni beans, which are basically just white kidney beans, but still, she does not like beans. The 4th of July, obviously, is Independence Day. It's also National Barbecue Day by tradition, and by barbecue, I don't mean like Lexington style and pulled pork. It's barbecue, the action, which I know people around here don't necessarily care for that as calling it an action. Barbecue is barbecue. Grilling out is grilling out. It's also National Barbecued Spare Rib Day, National Baked Beans Day, which I don't know what the difference between National Eat Beans Day and National Baked Beans Day is, National Caesar Salad Day. In 1916, Nathan's of Coney Island hosted the first Nathan's hot dog eating contest. James Mullen ate 13 hot dogs and buns in 12 minutes. And that was on the 4th of July, which has become a tradition. And in 2016, Joey Chestnut set a new record in that contest. He consumed 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I like hot dogs, but come on. The 5th of July, National Apple Turnover Day, National Graham Cracker Day. In 2006, 3 people were arrested by the FBI for attempting to sell Coca-Cola trade secrets and the recipes to Pepsi. I'm wondering who turned them in. I wonder if it was Pepsi. Pepsi seems like they'd be honorable and totally call somebody out on that. The 6th of July is National Fried Chicken Day. The 7th is National Strawberry Sundae Day, Macaroni Day, and Chocolate Day. On the 7th, in 1550, the first chocolate arrived in Europe. In 1958, the first IHOB, which actually we know is really IHOP, International House of Pancakes, opened at 4301 Riverside Drive in Toluca Lake, and that's just outside of Los Angeles. The 8th of July is National Milk Chocolate with Almonds Day. And on that day in 1831, John Stith Pemberton was born. Pemberton was the pharmacist who invented Coca-Cola in 1885. Also on the 8th in 1949, Wolfgang Puck was born, Austrian chef, cookbook author, and restaurateur. I have toured his now closed, but they're relocating or trying to relocate, Wolfgang Puck Kitchen in Greensboro, where I met his brother Klaus, who is super cool dude. It's just, listening to their Arnold Schwarzenegger-like accents, just too cool. And on the 9th of July is National Sugar Cookie Day. That's your food holidays and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ehler for compiling the holidays in history. The Man Who Ate to Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference and Sipping, and See the Art of Drinking. You can find all those podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, which is called tldpodnetwork.com. We'd greatly appreciate it if you visit our sponsors. Again, Delicios is closed this week because there are a lot of restaurants that close down for the 4th of July. It's just a slow week for restaurants because people will be grilling out and want to spend family time together. I understand that. However, I'm not big on grilling out, and I'm for spending time together, but I want to go eat. So that sometimes causes a problem with me. But anyway, Delicio's Italian restaurant is located at 301 Brookstown Avenue. It's Italian food like you're sitting in Naples. More than just spaghetti and lasagna, but we can guarantee it will be better than anyone else's spaghetti and lasagna. They have rich cream sauces, bright and flavorful red sauces, wine sauces, vodka sauces, pink sauces, all that. Seafood, meat, vegetarian, it's all right there. Many styles of pasta to choose from and daily specials. They're open from 11 to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. And remember, this week they are closed. Washington Perkin Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street. Wolfie's Custard is there, and they have, 16 flavors. I went by there earlier or late last week. No, it was early this week. I'm sorry, it was yesterday. And they still had a plethora in there, and Jane was bringing a bunch in, so it was really good. They also have Larry's Beans Coffee, eggs, milk, and cheese from Homeland Creamery. They have Ashe County cheese. They have condiments, peanut butter, bread, jelly, toothpicks, napkins, beer and wine. The Perk has them all. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, but not quite a grocery store. Again, 301 West 4th Street, downtown Winston-Salem. On Facebook, it is facebook.com/Washington Perk. On Instagram, it's Washington Perk _WSNC. The Humblebee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. Visit for cookies, cakes, pies, and other dessert goodies made just for you. Everything is carefully crafted and made 100% from scratch. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook. Visit thehumblebeeshop.co, and that's SHOPPE.co. Also, check them out on Instagram, because what Brittany is posting on Instagram is simply amazing. And they have great vegan and gluten-free options as well. So keep an eye on my blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, please send us an email, tim@themanwhoatethetown.com or kelly@themanwhoatethetown.com. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man Who Number 8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. My name is Tim, and I'm certainly hoping that Kelly's back next week, because I realize this is probably not the most exciting, dynamic show that you've heard of ours in the last 3 or 4 months. So hopefully we get her back soon, and we'll be back to our normal goofy selves. Until next time, I'm now closing the recipe box. Thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.